Good day, everybody. Kevin from Bowzoneboys here. Today is June 16th, 2024, and I got something new for you. It seems like this is the year of the arrow, but I got another set of arrows that I want to detail in this video from Trail Archery. So, to me, they have the most innovative arrow on the market right now, and I was shocked when I learned some of the stats and the compository, the buildup of them. I'm hoping they're going to be great. So, stay tuned. Story behind these arrows is that this is a Canadian company, Trail Archery Products. I met them, the owner, at the Oilman's, which is Canada's largest 3D shoot. And as you can tell from my previous videos, I've been chasing this arrow that what I thought didn't exist. Something really, really wide, like a 27 size, 23 size, but super light grains per inch. So, and this will be for 3D. So indoor 3D is a big thing, and now I'll use these for outdoor 3D. So here's my invoice for the dozen arrows and all the components. Look at bushings, nocks, and 100 grain points. Plus the shafts, which come in a pretty interesting bubble wrap. Very cool. Anyways, the whole setup here for $280 Canadian shipped. So check that out. Is that ever cool? The owner, Curtis Meyer, also a very good shooter. Was kind enough to mail these out last Thursday, and I got them on Monday, so that's a pretty quick turnaround. So here they are, size 27. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them together, I'm going to weigh them, and I'm going to go over some of the specs that they boast from their website, which is something you can find online. So Trail Archery. 100 green points, speed nocks, and the bushings. Alright, I'm just going to go over some specs for this arrow. This is something you can get online on their website at redtrailarchery.com. This particular 27 size arrow is 6.56 grains per inch. I bought them in their super straightness, which is 0.001 straightness. Your inside diameter and outside diameter are also on the spec sheet here. And I will test it against the full bore arrow, which is also a 27, but I understand that their components are somewhat compatible. The bushing is 26 grains a piece, and their fire nocks or their speed nocks are 9.6 grains each. So there you have it. There's the specs of the arrow, and I'm going to start fletching them. I think I'm going to put on my tack beans if I can get them to stick. This year at the ASAs, I wanted to use a size 27 shaft. I had these full bores in my fleet of arrows, which Easton doesn't make anymore. They're pretty light. They're 8.4 grains per inch. I have them cut down to 27 and a quarter, I think, carbon to carbon. So they're quite a stiff arrow the way they cut right now. I have 100 grain points in them. But where the flaw in this arrow was is that these bushings take a G-knock, and in my opinion, wasn't consistent enough. I would shoot the arrows a little bit, and the G-knock would get twisted inside the bushing, and quite frankly, I was getting some inconsistency from the back end of the arrow. I started looking around, and this is where Red Trail came in. I looked at their product. It's a military grade carbon, very, very stiff arrow, which makes them brittle. I get that. But these are both under 7 grains per inch for a size 27. So I can save myself a lot of draw weight and poundage by shooting this arrow and using the same components. So I'm going to use 100 grain points, and what I believe is going to be a way more robust bushing for the back end. So I think where they got it right, Red Trail Archery, is the usage of a heavy duty bushing, and a heavy duty knock, which is something I probably still could buy for full bores, but I went the $280 route. So I hope it works. Alright, I'm just going to cut 6, and I'm going to use my squaring tool to make sure they're all square at the back end, and then glue in some bushings. I do have to say though, I did notice that the labels, so this is almost like a wrap that they've used for their product. It's in slightly different places on the arrow shaft, so I'm not sure if I like that, but we'll see how consistent they are. If that becomes an issue, then I'll just take some time and remove their white wrap off this. Great, I have my first arrow built. Looks pretty good. Still not sure about these wraps, but I'm just going to wait out. $338.4 grains. So I cut those arrows 1 inch longer than my full bores. Here's a full bore. This is what I was using. 388 grains. So shaved off quite a bit. I'm going to be turning down my poundage quite a lot. Hopefully it'll work. I'm going to finish up fletching them and then we'll see how they turn out. Alright, today I'm going to start my tuning phase on these arrows. I have to take a little bit of a break. I'm going to start by paper testing the bow, chronographing the bow, and then that will decide on the kind of point weight I'm going to run. I've found that my full bore components, which are top hats, are interchangeable with these arrows, so I might add 150 grains to the front, but we'll see how it tunes up. Alright, shot 1 with 100 grain points. Looks pretty nice. Shot 2, 150 grain points. Right, one little adjustment. Got her perfect. That's 289, and all I did was a little tuning, change arrows, and that's 150 grain point in it. So I have trying to decide what I gained through that, but anyways, 289 feet a second, I'll take it. Okay, I've replaced all the points, put in the 150 grain points. I learned that they're compatible. I thought I had top hats, but they're pro points. I used 150 grains. I used to use them in my full bores, but I'm going to try these arrows. Tuned up nice, 289 feet a second, and now I'm just going to go in group 2, see how they shoot out at distance. Alright, well, we're going to continue along the testing. I have some of the arrows preliminary sighted in for at least 20 yards in my yard, although I was having some issues with some consistency, so I brought out the Hooter shooter today. And it's pretty calm conditions, good weather conditions for doing this, so I'm going to try and group tune these arrows using the machine and remove the ones that don't play fair. So hope you enjoy this. It's just another test to see the consistency on these red trail arrows. Another thing I did is I numbered the arrows 1 through 6, only got 6 made right now. So I'm going to start with number 1, get it sighted in, and then 1 through 6, and we'll see how consistent they are in terms of being sighted in. And also I'll do some knock tuning there. So they've identified the node through a little silver mark on the arrows when you buy the shafts, and we'll test to see if that's an accurate measurement. Okay, I finally got the bow sighted in. So I'm going to take my first shot, see where it hits. I'm hoping it's going to be very close to the cross that I made on the target. And once it is, then I'll get sighted in and go through all the arrows, 1 through 6. And we'll see how consistent these arrows are. Let's see how we did. It's pretty close. Alright, it took a little while, but I have this thing sorted out now. I had to change a couple of things with the Hooter shooter in the setting for easier adjustment for myself. Each time I shoot, it seems like I have to sight in again. At least with my adjustments, I limited the sighting in piece, so that takes a long time. But I do have the arrows shooting within a real small distance of each other each time. It's the same arrow. It's not hitting the same hole, but it's shooting very consistently, like I would say the size of a 10 on a Vegas 10, at least outside here. So that's where we're starting. I'm going to mess with the knock and the node in a bit, so I'll do some knock tuning then, and we'll see how it goes. And that's where it hits, typically a little high, a little bit to the right. So again, that's consistent with what it's doing. Okay, I didn't want to bore you with all the testing, so I'm on to arrow number 2. I'm confident that arrow number 1 is hitting the same spot every time. Inside of Vegas 10 for sure, so I'll leave it there and I'll go on to arrow number 2. I made a little mark on where arrow number 1 was hitting, and I'm hoping that arrow number 2 will hit the same spot. Okay, this time the arrow was not grouping near the other one, so I turned its knock. Third time, second arrow. Well, it's hitting with the other one. They're all super tight groups. And so far, knock tuning this arrow, I went already 360 degrees once, and the hole stayed the same. The arrow shot the same hole despite where I had the knock. So I run these arrows, 1 through 6, through the Hooter shooter, and I'm confident they hit the same spot. Now, I'm just going to test their durability. I'm going to shoot them all into the same hole, same group with the Hooter shooter, and see if I can create some carnage just for fun. So, hoping that they'll all hit the same spot. We'll see. One thing about those fat arrows is I sure got a couple deflections there. Well, I was hoping for more carnage than what I got, but that's just me using the Hooter shooter. It's tough to aim with that thing. All in all, pretty happy with the consistency of these arrows. I feel these are going to be a great product. Some of the considerations I would have for this is cosmetically, all my fellow archers that I've showed these arrows to have kind of thought they were ugly. That's due to the wrap that they have for a label. I get it. I'm not overly fond of it either, but it serves its purpose. I was able to label my arrows nicely, tell them apart very easily. Sure, it adds some grain weight to it, but the knock, I was considering changing these knocks out and maybe putting in a biter. I can afford the extra weight on the back end. I mean, I'd be into retuning and everything, but that's okay. I'm happy with these knocks, although they click onto my serving quite hard. Outside of that, the component fit on both ends, the front and the back, is good, and the people at Trail Archery are great. Curtis Meyer is a stud. He's a great shooter, highly competitive guy. I had some time to visit with him while he was in his booth at the Wildman's Archery Shoot here in Alberta when I was in the PSC booth. Great guy, and I'm glad that I made this purchase. I believe these arrows are going to work for me, and I will link all Red Trail Archery information into the comments below, and you can try them out from there. I'll hook you up. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.
Dashing had a sex tape. You should have one too, eh?
That's right. It's disgusting. Who'd want to watch it other than everybody at the bathhouse?